Hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to season two of TBI Uncovered, the platform that allows traumatic brain survivors, those with brain injuries, brain conditions, shock survivors, the wheelchair community, the disability community, organizations, caregivers, medical professionals, and anyone, survivors alike, anybody, that want to share their stories, plus provide tips and resources to those impacted. On today's episode, uh, I have a special guest, and I've been on her for quite some time now. I am. She's a mother of a survivor that has gone on the transition to heaven. So she's one of our TBI angels, and so she's also carrying her daughter's legacy on. And she's the founder president for the Nasia Foundation. She's an author, inspirational speaker, life coach, mentor, you name it, she's doing it. And so I want to honor for her daughter and things like that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in Miss Letitia Council. Hi, Letitia.
Hey, hey, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for
How's
joining me this TV Uncover. I appreciate you taking time. I ain't got to some traveling to do, so we're gonna make it real quick so you can get started on the rest of your day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So to kick it off, could you share with us who you are and how your brain injury advocating and caregiver journey began with Nature?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Letitia Council, and I'm the founder of the Nasia Foundation, Traumatic Brain Injury, Teen Survivors, and Young Adults. Um, I am an inspirational speaker. I'm an author. The book will be launching soon. I am a caregiver. I'm an advocate for caregivers as well. I'm an advocate for TBI survivors. And my journey began with TBI, traumatic brain injury, because my daughter was in a mobile car accident in August of 2019. And she was a traumatic brain injury survivor. She has gained her wings. God called her home on April the 25th of this year. And that does not stop my purpose nor my journey in the TBI community.
Yes. So I just want to take one moment to honor Nasia. Just one moment, just brief pause. Okay. Are you
Thank
okay?
you. Mhm.
You're welcome. Okay, so I know this is really hard for you. And you have my sincerest condolences. I remember talking to you around that a little after, I believe, and it just I could feel the heaviness when I was talking to you. I could feel it the way, and but she was blessed to have a mom like you that still power on and continue her legacy. Like I know she'd be so proud of you. I know it. Like I could just feel it in my bones. She still be proud. She is proud of you. She's looking down and just still proud of you. So I appreciate you what you do and how you care for her. You did everything with her. I mean, I've seen the videos. I'm like, look at her, look at her. So you did amazing with her. So
Thank you.
kudos to you. Kudos to
Thank
you.
you.
So I have a question. What thoughts raced through your mind um, when you were notified that she was an accident?
I had just talked to her not even
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes before the accident happened. And then the phone rang and I saw it was her. So I answered the phone, say, hey, Nasia, what's wrong? But it wasn't Nasia on the other line. It was the other young lady telling me she had been in an accident. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to stop because I was cooking dinner. So I was like, okay, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
stop dinner. And I got in my mother-in-law's vehicle because Nasia had one of my vehicles and my son had the other one. And I got in the car, and as I'm calling to get an answer to let them know I'm en route, I can hear the other young lady panicking on the phone. So I knew then that it wasn't just a small accident.
Mm-hmm.
I knew then that it had to be something major just because of the young lady on the phone and the panicking. So when I did get there, I saw traffic was backed up, and I just jumped out the car. I did turn it off and put it in park, and I ran up to the scene. And when I got there, wow, the car looked like a high C juice box
Mm-hmm.
sucked in. They had to
What
cut
happened?
Nasia out the vehicle. And what I was told is she was, they all survived the car accident. They all survived, and that Nasia had been transported on the way to the hospital, and she
Mm,
had hit her head.
mm.
She was conscious when she left the scene of the accident. So on the way to the accident, I mean, on the way to the hospital is when she became unconscious.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And
Um,
so the feeling to that to me, I can't still to this day I can't explain how I felt. I just
mm-hmm.
know I was in a pool of emotions and feelings and tears. That's
Yeah,
pretty much how to explain that. It was very
understandable.
emotional.
It's understandable. What kind of person was Nasia pre TBI? You get a laugh?
Cause she she had a smile that would just light up the room. She
Mm,
always liked to joke around and play. She was a kid at heart.
okay.
Basically everybody that she came in contact with, they loved her. They loved to be around her because again, she was a kid at heart, and she loved
Mm-hmm.
her family. She was a protector. She was
Mm-hmm.
she was a big sister to all four of her siblings. So
I remember
we
I
couldn't
seen
help but
pictures
love
of the homecoming. Was it your son's homecoming
her. This year,
this year? Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it was her alumni. That's the
Okay.
high school she had graduated from.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I
Yeah,
know I see something. I know I see something. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So prior to becoming Nature's caregiver, what was your occupation? Or what is your occupation if you still work there? Did you have to quit a job or what
I was a
happened?
caregiver. I was a
No,
CNA
no, you're
anyway.
right. It's already a caregiver.
Yep,
Wow.
already one.
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah. So that it to me, what I had to do for her, it was nothing. It
Mm-hmm.
was that's just what a mother would do. No
Absolutely.
matter what your career is, you're gonna stop to care for your child. And that's
Yes.
what I did. And then think about it, second thoughts of nothing. Like that
Mm-hmm.
job would go. My daughter needs me. And that's what
That's
it
right.
was.
That's right. I believe it's important to highlight that because, you know, and I didn't just think this myself, but until I learned better. But it's important to highlight how brain injury can affect families. Like, everyone's lives have to shift. Everybody's lives shift. And
Mm-hmm.
from my experience personally, after my TBI, I was seeing where things shifting with my family. Like, my mother, I believe, she still worked, but she didn't. I think her hours might have changed a little bit. She still worked though, but she would come directly to the hospital after, be like dead not tired, but still come there. And so I'm just appreciative of all caregivers, in particular. So I think it's wonderful that you are still you are still caregiver, like at heart. So it's wonderful. So what's the hardest? Well, that isn't. I can't answer that as the question because nothing was hard. Just like second nature, taking care of your child. Um, was it hard? Was it hard for you to take care of her? Like not take care of her, but like to see her in that state, like I think does that make sense? Like to
In a
have to
caring for her in a different on a different
yeah.
kind of level versus caring for her
Yeah.
as an infant.
Mhm.
Um, I don't really want to say it was hard for me to do that. It was just it just reminded me that wow, you did this as when she was an infant, and now you're
Mhm.
doing it again as
Mhm.
she's a young adult.
Mhm.
So I didn't really think nothing of that. But each time, this only difference from an infant to an adult is she did understand what I was getting ready to do next when it came
Okay.
to caring for her and bathing her. I'm sorry, I'm trying to
Mhm.
plug my laptop in. Trying to bathe her and care for her. I just had to talk. I talked to her just to let her know everything that I was about to do, because her
Mhm.
mindset was in a different frame from what it was when she was an infant.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. How did Nature's brain injury and change you?
It opened my
Mhm.
eyes up to see
Mhm.
life differently.
Mhm.
It just like we worry about the smallest things, and
Mhm.
now I'm sitting here dealing with something that's much bigger, and I'm
Yes.
looking at the miracles of God that's performing daily, and I'm sitting over here worrying
Absolutely.
about uh, the grass being cut. That's not even a big issue. Like my daughter's here, she needs something that's more important than having your grass cut. So it did open up
Exactly.
my eyes to say, don't you worry about nothing else. You got something bigger going on right
Mm-hmm.
here. And because of your heart to care, not just for your daughter, but anybody, and to be there to be a
Mm-hmm.
helping hand to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be okay. Um,
That's right.
and I was okay. I was
Mm-hmm.
okay. The journey of being a caregiver to a TBI survivor that used to be up and functional and now they can't do anything to themselves, you do get burnt out. And I did get burnt out. And I tried my best not to show it
Mm-hmm.
because I knew she was used to me coming in, doing everything from bathing her
Mm-hmm.
to changing her to getting her out the bed to putting her in the bed, putting her in the wheelchair. She was just so used to our routine that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to allow somebody else to come in to help out, and then she wouldn't be as acceptable to them as she was to me.
I just gonna ask you that. Who else helped you with her? That's what I
Um,
was gonna ask you.
I did have family members that came in to help. She knew who
Mm-hmm.
they were. She remembered
Mm-hmm.
who they were, so she wasn't
Mm-hmm.
as rejected to them. I know
Gotcha.
my mom would visit often. Like it was once a
Mm-hmm.
month my mom would come to visit, and Nasia would allow my mom. But in the beginning, Nasia wouldn't allow my mom to do anything for her. So it took
Wow.
time.
But you're used to you.
Yep.
Wow. Isn't that something? Wow. Mm-mm-mm. How we
Yep.
we just spoiled that way.
She was spoiled anyway. She was spoiled.
Mhm.
All of my
I
kids
know,
are spoiled.
I know it. I know how it goes. I know. I'm a spoiled kid. So I know how it goes. I know when I hear it. So, as a wife, mother, author, inspirational speaker, founder, CEO, life coach, mentor, all that good stuff. I go on and on. So, it is easy to get lost and consumed with all those other things that you forget to take care of you. So, how does Letitia take care of Letitia?
Probably when I go to sleep. After I take a shower, that's when I wind down.
Just
For the
like you?
last 2 years prior to her passing, it was I didn't take care of self the way I should have, but I did have
Mm-hmm.
moments to take a break.
Hmm.
But I didn't dive deep into self care and self love. And I want to speak on that just for a moment. If there's any
I'm
caregivers
listening.
out here, no matter who you're caring for, take a moment and take a deep breath for yourself and do it without regrets. I tend to have beat myself up a little bit when I would just run around the corner to go to the grocery store, but do it without regrets. And it's
Mhm.
okay to take a break and it's okay to ask for help because we can't do it alone. Because the journey of a caregiver is heavy, just as heavy it is for the person that you're caring for. So take a break, self love, whatever that looks like to you. Give yourself some self love and self care, and that's one of the things that we do monthly. We choose participants, one caregiver, and one TBI survivor, and we mail out to the caregiver some things for self care, and for the survivor, because I know what the needs were when I was caring for Nasia.
Mhm.
We send small stuff out like personal hygiene, socks, inspirational cards, and um, hygiene socks, any hygiene products is what we send to the survivor. The caregiver
Mhm.
gets more like some candles, a candle, some foot soak, um, some hand cream, or some massage oil, and an inspirational message, just to show that we care and we understand.
Mhm.
So, again,
Beautiful.
take time out for yourself.
Right. Self-care is so essential. It gets overlooked all the time. Heck, as a mom, it gets overlooked. that long caregiver. Can be the mom. It's like being a caregiver, isn't it? Would you say
Yeah,
it's like being
well,
a
it
caregiver?
is. It is. It's just now that you're caring for your child versus somebody
Mhm.
else's loved one.
Yeah. So
So
same difference.
that hat never gets turned off.
Mhm. And as a woman, naturally, we're
Naturally,
natural.
as a
So it's
woman.
like it's never turned off. You gotta try to do something. Oh, let me help you with that.
Yeah,
It's
helping
never
hand.
ending. Never ending. But like you said, you don't want to get caregiver burnout. So 'cause
Nope.
I remember many days my mom would be so tired, and for a long time it was just me and her. And when we did, and me and her, then my auntie would come, and I think my cousins would come. But after a while, that fits was out, you know. And then that's Friday got with a company, home health care company, and then it made things a little bit easier, you know, just a little bit. But like you said with Nasia, when you use your mom, it's like, wait, there's a new person coming in. It's like, wait a minute, I don't know what you
Right.
got going on.
Right.
So it's
The
gonna be
only
different.
thing we used for home health was occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy.
Okay, so it's
And
not
when
the
they
personal.
came in, right. So when they came in for the first 2 weeks, I was there. But as I
Mm-hmm.
seen that she was relaxed and at ease with them, when they came to do what they were supposed to do, I did step away.
Okay,
I stepped away for a moment, unless they called me to come back in the room. But other than that, I stepped away.
that's good. And some other that's good. Then that's another good. You gotta take care of your mental space too, because that's a lot. That's a lot for one person. And so we're gonna take a deep breath.
Mentally, mentally, I was broken down. Mentally, I
I'm
was
sure.
broken
I'm
down.
sure.
Um,
Mhm.
I still get broken down
Mhm.
mentally, but I
Mhm.
push forward to continue to move
That's
because I
right.
don't want to be stagnated where I am.
Mhm. Yes.
So, yeah, that mental part of it is
It's
very
huge.
important as well.
It's
When you
huge.
feel yourself and your mind just starting to drift and you just feel yourself and your energy start to change and you begin to get mad, take a step
Mhm.
back.
That's right.
It's time to take a step back and take a deep breath. And I
Yeah.
I would cry, but I wouldn't cry in front of her. I wouldn't cry in front of my husband nor my other kids. I would just go somewhere and do it for myself because
Mhm.
I'm not a person that wants somebody to feel sorry for me.
Absolutely.
But I understand why I was crying. But I didn't want
Mhm.
her to see me cry. Although she couldn't speak, I didn't want her to feel the
I am.
tense or my emotions and
The
begin
answer.
to feel some kind of way on the inside and not be able
Yeah.
to verbally express it.
Mhm.
So I was very
Agreed.
careful of that.
Agreed. It is very essential. Um, well, another form of self care is reading. So, um, I told my friend Tamik, he's a survivor as well, TBI survivor, stroke survivor as well. He has a book coming out. He has a book coming out. I believe I'm not sure it's coming out soon, but he has pre-orders. And so I told him I want to get somebody his book. So I want to give you his book. And he
Oh,
has a
thank
section
you.
specifically for caregivers. That'll be a blessing to you. So I want to give that to you.
Thank you.
I didn't tell him no, but that's what I'm doing. I'm choosing you as my person to give the his book to. So
It's
I
very
believe be a
thoughtful
blessing
of
to you.
you. I appreciate that. I wish I could give you a
Absolutely.
hug right through the screen. Well, I can. So I'm going to hug myself for you. Thank
We gotta
you. Thank you.
take care of each other. So yeah. Well, let's dive into the Nature Foundation and the great things that you all do. You do so much. Oh my goodness. And so I like to tell the audience. So I'm on the board for the Nature Foundation as well. Um, I do behind the scenes stuff, and I'm also going to be the moderator for the upcoming Up Close and Personal with TBI's conference. So I'm so excited to be on the board, and but yeah, so many great things. And as a person CEO of the Nation Foundation, what's the mission? In case people don't know what the mission is.
Our mission is to provide resources to caregivers to help them on their journey while they're caring for their loved one who is a traumatic brain injury teen or young adult survivor. We're trying to break that stigma that's there and bridge the gap from home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, not sorry, bridge the gap from rehab to home. Because once you
Definitely.
get home, it's a whole nother different. It's a whole nother ball game.
I
It's
am.
not what it does not. It does not look what it looked like in rehab. Okay, it
Absolutely.
doesn't. So that's one of the things that we're trying to continue to build, to get that information and to help others along their journey and to just be there for them, be the outlet for them because it's a lot. And in order for somebody to understand, they have to experience it.
Absolutely. Definitely
And
agree.
we have definitely experienced it. And that's why we're going to continue to push and also raise awareness for traumatic brain injury. It's not much out here for the TBI and brain injury community. So we're raising noise. We're speaking up and speaking out. It's not a time to be
Shaking
silenced
it,
about
shake
brain
it,
injury. It's not. It's
shaking it.
like the brain is the motor to our body. And this could happen to anyone. And I pray that it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, but it can happen to anyone. It happened to me. It happened to my family. And we didn't think that
Mm-hmm.
nothing like this would ever happen, but it happened. And we are walking in the purpose of it. And we didn't let it take us down.
That's
And
good.
neither did we let the grief of Nasia's passing take us down. We're still moving.
Yeah,
Although it's hard, but we're still moving. Because even with the accident, when you lose a person, that don't mean they have to be in death. You're
that's
still
right.
grieving because you done lost that person or part of them has
Mm-hmm.
lost something that they used to do all the time. So we're there. We're here for families. We have programs, redevelopment, learning skill program that we're working on and trying to build to help survivors get back to a functional future. And our
Yes.
services are caregiver support and TBI advocacy. And we're hosting webinars. Erica just spoke on that. Our first webinar is November the 13th from 11 to 1. And you can register
Mm-hmm.
at for that event on our website at www.thenasiasfoundation.org, and that's free. Yeah. So and
We're gonna transition.
oh,
We're gonna transition to the
okay,
scholarship campaign for the scholarship campaign for the campaigning for campaigning for our future.
right.
For the hoodies, a truly brave, what's
Truly,
even
it's
brave,
truly
inspiring,
brave, inspiring.
truly brave, inspiring.
Mhm.
Get the
And
hoodies, or you
that's
get
what a
hoodies,
survivor
t-shirts.
is. Y'all are truly
Mhm.
brave and y'all are definitely inspiring. Because if
Yeah.
y'all could go from land being told that you was a vegetative state and couldn't do nothing, look in yourself. You're doing something. That's
There
inspiring
you go.
somebody else that's
Glory to
not
God.
even
Glory to
been
God.
affected by the TBI or a brain
Glory to
injury
God.
or anything. That's inspiring to them because you're up and you're moving. So I use that word inspiring versus individual.
Mm-hmm. I
And it's
love
a
it.
campaign running. We're trying to raise $1,000 on that campaign by February, so we can get ready to gear up to help two high school seniors. Sorry, two high school seniors that is about to go off into college and study in the healthcare profession. And the goal is to give them $500 apiece. And this year's selection will be Nasia's alumni, the school she graduated from.
I love that. I love
And if
that.
you would like to make a donation towards that, you can also do it on our website and click donate. And then there's a section for you to click college scholarships as well.
That's wonderful. So I'm gonna sit right there for a second.
Okay.
So that's more about the up close and personal TBI's event. So what was your reason for I know what it is. Can you repeat when it is? November 11th? So you said
It's
November
November
11th?
the 13th.
Where am I getting 11 from? Oh, I go through this up to this
It's the
line.
11th month. It's the 11th month.
11 month on the 13th. Okay.
Yes.
Oh goodness. Yeah, that's so messed up. Oh, go ahead. Go
The,
ahead.
the purpose of that is one, to connect with the TBI community so
Mhm.
I can learn more and so I can also share what it is that I already know. Two, I want to get up close in person with them so they can share their story
Mhm.
about their journey on with traumatic brain injury, because not everybody goes through the same
That's
uh,
true.
defects and everything of
Mhm.
TBI. Not everybody doesn't. So each TBI injury is different for each person. And I want to
Absolutely.
hear from them because some of them may feel like they're silent or they have so much to tell, but don't nobody want to listen. And I want to be the change to that. We want
That's
to
right.
listen. We
That's,
want you to speak up and speak out. It's not the time to stay stuck.
that's
You've
right.
been
Or we
stuck long
silent.
enough, and the world needs to hear them. So
Absolutely.
if I can help change that, I want them to speak up and speak out. because they too
Absolutely.
have a voice. So that's
Absolutely.
the purpose of the webinar.
I love it. And so they can go again on the is on the website Nature Foundation.
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay, so
Yes.
naturefoundation.org.
Yes, ma'am.
The Nation Foundation.org to be exact. Let us sit right there for a second. Um, so how do you think mothers, fathers, caregivers, siblings, anybody take care of anybody? How can they go by finding help for their loved ones? If it just happens out of nowhere, a freak accident happens, where should they go look for help? How
Um,
did you know? How did you know what to do? Well, you're a caregiver, so you kind of had an insight already. But for those who don't have those skills, or know anybody that's
right.
caregivers and babies, anything like that, what should they do?
Well, the first thing I would say do is connect with the social worker in the hospital
Okay,
to
social
see what type
counselor.
of resources they have to help them get ready to get started and prepare to being their child's caregiver.
Okay,
And if it's not the hospital, connect with the social worker that's at the rehab center.
okay,
And if they feel like they're not getting any, because I have done research for other states and
mm-hmm.
reached out to other states as well, seeing what the resources were to help that caregiver out. I have done that, and I will continue to do that if need to be. Um, and they can reach out to me, ask me questions. They can email me at Nasia Strong 2019 at gmail.com and ask questions. And if I don't have the answer at that moment, I'm going to do everything I can to get that answer back to them in a timely manner, 24 to 48 hours, depending on the situation. If it's
Mm-hmm.
something that they need an answer to immediately, I'll do the best I can to get back with them immediately.
Okay, okay, put
As
that.
far
Yeah,
as
go ahead.
siblings, I my kids played a huge part in their sister life as well, caring for
Mm-hmm.
her. Her baby
Sure.
sister was right there, hand in hand, learning how to give medication at age 10. She
I see
wanted
many
to learn.
videos. I see
Yeah,
many
she wanted to learn.
videos.
She helped brush her sister's teeth. She helped wash her
Mm-hmm.
face. She even gave her sister some self care, a spa day
Mm-hmm.
one day.
Mm-hmm.
Her brothers, if I needed to run out and she was in her bed or in her recliner, I'd be like, hey, I need to run to the store. Keep an eye on your sister. They was there. They did that.
That's
And
good.
my husband did the same thing. My dad, if I needed to go somewhere, especially on Friday nights when the boys was playing football, he
Mm-hmm.
was right here so we could go and support our sons.
Mm-hmm. Nature strong, right? Nature strong.
Nature strong.
Nature
For
strong.
life. For life.
That's right. In what ways have brain injury support groups helped you? I know your personal. That's why I met you in on. I think I met you in a group or something like that. I think.
I typically, I'm be honest, I didn't really engage much. I would stroll through to see if anybody was posting anything that I may have been dealing with. Instead of me asking questions, I'll read the comments first to find my
Gotcha.
answer, and that's typically how that has
Okay.
helped me. I also connected with the Brain Injury Association of Virginia, and they will have monthly caregiver support meetings or
Okay.
advocacy meetings, and we would just share what it is that we was feeling and what it is that we
Mhm.
needed more of while we was caring for our loved ones.
I
So
love that.
that's those are the two ways that has helped me out as a caregiver.
And it's so important that you have people that understand and get you because everyone has friends, but it's like everyone doesn't have friends who are going through the same thing you're going through, especially when it comes to something like that with brain injuries because it's something totally different. It's very rare to find somebody that understands
I
because the
can
person
say
who's like,
my support system was strong, and
you
it
know,
still is strong. My support system, they strong. They strong for me, and they don't even know when I'm having a bad day, or not even so much of a
mm-hmm.
bad day. They don't know when I'm having that day because I don't share it, and I hide it because I don't want them to have to worry about me to make sure that I'm
Right.
okay. And I know that I should be doing the complete opposite,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still strong for me.
That's
Like
good.
I
Because
support
some
you strong,
people,
and I want to
some
thank them because
people,
if some of them are watching, I would just want to say thank y'all for being my strong support, my family's strong support. Most of them know who they are. They've been there on the journey with us since day one,
mhm,
and they never not called, never not came by,
it's a
never
blessing.
not did anything.
It's a
So they
blessing.
know who they are. I don't even have to name them, and
Hmm.
that right there alone speaks volume to me.
That's a blessing. Because a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people
Right?
don't have that. So definitely a blessing. It's a rare thing because some people don't get it. They don't understand, what it is and
They don't.
how different it is.
They
It's
don't. And
it's a beast.
they're being strong for me. In all
Hmm.
reality, they're looking at my strength, and I'm
Hmm.
keeping them strong. But
Hmm.
I really don't know that. But I feel
Yeah.
that. I mean, I feel it. I know that I'm keeping them strong
Hmm.
because of how I move. I'm inspiring the ones that are there for me. I'm inspiring them. So
That's right.
it's just a blessing to be a inspiration.
That's right.
Without
Even
I
through the
don't
hard
need to
times,
be
it's
told
inspiring.
that. Yeah, I don't need to be told that. My heart tells me all the time, you are
Hmm.
very inspiring, you're strong. And I know that, but I'm also weak.
Hmm.
But I know God is strong when I'm weak. So
That's
that's
right.
why
That's
I'm
right.
okay with it.
That's right. Always got him. Always.
Always, always. Yeah.
Always. So what's next for you?
Wow.
What's next for the Nature Foundation? What next for Miss Arthur? Inspiring life coach or speaker. What's next for you?
Whatever God has for me is
Ooh,
for me. So that's where I'm going.
that's right.
That's
That's
where
right.
I'm
I love
going.
that. That's right. So last question. Why is brain injury awareness important to you?
Well, I experienced it at first hand, not physically, but I experienced it with my daughter.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's just not enough out there for y'all. Like, I didn't physically go through it. And people tend to push survivors of brain injuries to the side.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like it. Um, they look at y'all as disabled. Y'all aren't disabled. Your ability to keep moving it doesn't is not your disability.
Yeah.
And they don't understand it. And they get frustrated with you without sitting there trying to understand you. Instead of understanding, they get frustrated. And that's why I'm going so hard because sit down, talk to them, learn what it is that they've been through, talk to their
Hmm.
caregiver, see what it is that they've been through so you can get a better understanding. If you don't have an understanding, you're going to always get frustrated with somebody that got an injury and
That's
they're
right.
trying to tell you that. And the other thing that I've been reading is people say that it's nothing wrong. A brain injury is an invisible disability. If
Yes, it
somebody
is.
says something is wrong and they had a brain injury, please believe them
Believe them.
because nobody having a brain injury is not something somebody just gonna sit here and say they have
Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Not at all.
at
I
all.
would do that. Mm-mm.
So I want to make it visible. It's a
Yes, you do.
visible thing, not it's not a visible disability. It's a visible ability
I
to
like
keep
that spin
moving.
on it. I like that.
Yes.
Mic drop. That's it. You said it. Mic drop. Mic drop. This what it is in a nutshell. I mean,
Yeah.
you said it up perfectly well. Said it up perfectly well. Well, this has been a very interesting interview. I'm excited about the conference next month
Thank you. Thank
on the
you.
13th. Not the
On the
13th.
13th.
11th month,
Yes.
13th date. 11 o'clock,
11
11 1.
o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. Yes. And I'm
Yes.
looking
So,
forward to that. I really am. And there's going to be more of those.
yes,
More.
absolutely. Absolutely. So everyone out there, please. First, we're gonna go down the list. Please follow Miss Letitia on Facebook at Nasia Foundation. That's NASIA Foundation. FOUNDATION. Nasia Foundation. And so also like the Nature Foundation. Traumatic brain injury teen survivors page on Facebook as well.
Mhm.
Like the Nasia Foundation, Traumatic brain injury teen survivors Facebook page as well. And if you have, they also support the high school seniors um, with getting the totally brave and inspiring individual. I mean, totally brave, inspiring hoodies. They're on bonfire.com. I looked it up. It worked. It just works. Bonfire.com.
That's
bonfire.com.
t-shirts too.
The t-shirts too.
Mhm.
Slash campaigning hyphen for hyphen r hyphen future. And it has like a, I guess the slash, it would add slash more afterwards, but that's what it is. Mindfire.com slash camping for our future. And also, you can also donate to the seniors on the nationfoundation.org website, and you have to click on the donate select college scholarships. Donate select college scholarships. If you have any questions, so the teacher said, email address is open. NasiaStrong2019 at gmail.com. NasiaStrong2019 at gmail.com. Did I miss anything?
Nope, you
Did I
did a
get, did I
great
get
job.
everything?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. No, thank you. So again, I'm gonna give you Tom Meeks' book. I'm so excited to come out. It's called Becoming the Light. This is called Becoming a Light. Becoming a Light. Becoming a
Okay.
Light. You're becoming a light. And he shares his story, how he experiences stroke survivor journey and things like that, and caregiver and stuff like this. It's gonna be a very good book. So I'm gonna get it for you and mail it to
Thank
you,
you.
and so you can have that to read. That's another form of self care. So, and talk about the picture in the background. It's not pretty. What does it say? Hope, hope,
It
Nasia.
says Hope Nasia. That was our first
It's
fundraiser
beautiful.
for February of 2021 this
It's
year.
beautiful.
And the painter, she painted that picture for Nasia. We was painting and I didn't know what she was up there doing.
It's
And
beautiful.
when she finished, she turned around and she put Hope and she put Nasia's name on it. So
It's
Miss
beautiful.
Danita Sanders did that
Thank
from
you,
with
Miss
the
Anita
Phoenix
Sanders.
Experience. She also hosts paint parties virtually, and she's under the Phoenix Experience on Facebook.
Now, is that in your state?
Yes, she is,
Okay.
but she when she hosts them virtually, she typically
Okay.
mail out the kits to whoever
Okay.
purchased them.
Okay. What's her name again?
Danita Sanders.
Thank you, Miss Anita Sanders, for doing virtual paint parties. The picture's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, again, thank you, Letitia, for being my guest. I
Thank
greatly
you, Erica,
appreciate
for
it.
having me. I
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.
Thank you so much for
Appreciate you.
everything that you do in the TBI
Thank you.
community.
It's not easy. It's not easy to tell you that, but so we gotta do it. We gotta do it
Got to
because
do
if we don't do it, who's gonna do it? So
it. That's
we
right.
gotta do it. Can't talk about. I gotta be about it. So I want to be about it. I want to be about it. So yeah, this is such a nice time. We'll be talking before then, so I mean it's fine.
Thank you.
We're gonna be chatting. So yeah, it's all good. So thank you so much again, and you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
Safe, safe travels too to Richmond. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Safe travels. You're welcome. Have a good day.
You
Thank
too.
you all for watching TV Uncovered. See y'all later. See you next Friday. Bye.
Bye.
Mhm.